See, I'm hurting but not broken, down but I won't die. I rise, soon I will reach the sky, and still I rise.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that takes me now to the part of your journey. You're a backup singer. Now you're no longer in the girl group Gift.
Yeah.
You've left. Now you've met Richie Spice. You know, you're his background singer, and he's seen a unique talent in you, and he's saying, okay, I think you can really do this. And it took a lot of pushing from him for you to actually do this, you know, as an individual, right? So your songs sometimes feel like you're speaking to someone to tell them to do something. Was it hard to encourage yourself to be the lady or the woman that we're seeing right now?
No. It took a while for me to, the easiest way to say it is to come into myself.
I see, to settle in.
Yeah, to center myself then, and to get to know me.
Right.
And it is at that time, then I realized that, okay, I didn't want for the world to know me as Shauna. That's the name my mom gave me. And so Shauna's journey basically ended, and Etana journey began at that moment.
Wow.
And so I decided to name myself Etana because I wanted the world, a woman, men alike, but to remember their own strength from within. And Etana meant the strong one, even though Kenya have a different word for the name Etana, different meaning for the name Etana. For me, it means the strong one, right? Okay. So at that moment is when I decided how I was gonna write, my purpose, and what I was gonna be about, what Etana is about, right?
What we're seeing right now.
Yeah. So it took me a time to get to that moment and to decide, hey, this is what I really want. And I think being in the group, you know, kind of pushed me into that direction to say, hey, you don't want that, right? It's all the money, it's all the beauty, it's everything, but it comes with other things that you don't like. So what do you really want? And I wanted to, at that time, to be in a space where I can walk barefooted if I wanted to. I can wear my afro if I wanted to. I can not comb my hair. I can wear a long skirt if I wanted to. I can totally be myself without someone telling me what to eat, how to look, but at the same time, you're taking from me what I don't want to give, what I never intended to share with you in the first place. You know, because I feel like talent comes from within, and I don't need to show you my body to show you what's within.
Right.
So you either can see it and feel it, or you don't. That's it.
Wow. And let's fast forward a bit into your history now. You're established, you're Etana.
Yeah.
You're living in your purpose. And the nominations for the Grammys come in. And that was quite monumental. I mean, when we say your name, we have to say, is it two-time Grammy nominee?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you see, so you cannot say Etana and miss that, right? So give us that process and how you felt actually the first time when you were nominated for a Grammy.
Well, I never thought that I could do it initially. I didn't even think that I could, because I ended my agreement with the label, and it was my first time out on my own. And so I had to be convinced by my other half that we could actually do it. Like, he's like, yo, you've been involved in all the songs before. What makes you think that you can't do it now by yourself? And that took like 2 days for that to soak in. Then I decided to move forward. And in the process of doing that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm really doing this. Like, we're getting the musicians, we're, you know, writing the songs, we're creating all of this music, and I'm playing it back to myself. And I'm saying, wow, this is what you should have been doing all along. you know? And it was quite a surprise to me that the first album that I did independently in its entirety became the first nominated album.
Wow.
You know, I think the world saw it. I think all the creators in music saw what I was able to accomplish on my own.
And the second time?
Same.
Second nomination.
It was bigger. The album
Yeah.
was bigger than the first.
Yeah.
And again, I know that they too see that, you know, it took a lot for me to accomplish all of that by myself without the power of a label behind me.
I see. Let's take a look at your album Pamoja. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it represents, let me say, the African continent. Am I
Yeah.
right to say it that way? I mean, it's a Swahili word,
Yeah.
together, you know. So tell us the dynamic of that album. What were you feeling? What were you thinking?
So at the time, there was this big argument that Afrobeat was taking over dancehall and reggae music, that Africans were taking over the music. And my view of that is that we are all the same people. Some of us were already on the other side of the continent, of the world, I'm sorry. Some of us was already on the other side before the slave trade. And where did the slaves come from? Where did the people come from that were turned into slaves? Here. We carried from here our culture, our energy, our everything, even the ackee seed, you know, even the prince. We brought all of that to that side so that we would never forget where we're from.
Yeah.
So how could we now say that Africans are taking over reggae music and dancehall music, where I believe it all stems from here? So we are one people. So that's why I did the album and I called it Pamoja, and recorded with, you know, artists from different parts of the world and from the continent, you know, because I wanted to show the world like, hey, we are the same people. Yeah.
I'm going to point out, I can call him a musician or a guru. From your past, you have such deep love and respect for him, Clive.
Clive Hunt.
Yes.
Yes.
And you speak about him so profoundly, especially in the way he makes old school, you know, processes, if I may call them so, with new school, and he has an ear, you know. So how has he contributed
to...
He
has a spirit.
He has a... Oh, there you go.
He has a spirit, like his whole soul is music. And right now, he cannot see like he used to. And he's still creating music.
Wow.
Just the same.
How old is he, remind me?
Oh, he's old now. Maybe 70 something. He's old. But the fact is, his spirit is still there. The music is in him. He is music. He started back in the days recording like Mariah Carey, Mick Jagger, you know, all the rock bands from back then, they used to come to him to do reggae music.
Yeah.
You know? So Clive Hunt is someone that should never be forgotten in reggae music.
I see.
In music, period.
And that's on period.
Yeah.
That's on period. Right. Let's take a look at Etana Strong. Is it Strong Foundation?
Yeah.
Etana Strong Foundation. What does it involve?
Strong One Foundation.
Strong One Foundation. There you go. But before we even go in there, I'm a bit concerned, Etana.
Right.
Because I think, is it last year, you said that this may be your last album. Did you mean it's your last? Please, you're
no,
making...
not people think that, or people thought that I meant like my last song altogether. That's not what I meant. I meant like a collection of music, you know?
Oh.
Right, so singles would be released just the same, but just not a collection, like a full album. And after doing Nectar of the Gods, I changed my mind. Because it was so beautiful that I thought, why not do this again and again and again, you know? But it's the way that the music is being consumed now, very fast.
Yeah.
So singles, you know, to me, are easier to work with than an entire album.
Now, someone like you who's so, you know, message-filled and purposeful, how do you create music for an audience that can sometimes be so fickle? they're onto one thing and your music holds water. It's for
Yeah.
the moment. How do you do
I
that?
just do it anyway. Like I always say, the music will always meet its rightful place and its rightful people. You know? So when I create the music, I don't think about all of those things. I don't think about anything. I write what I feel and I sing what I feel. And I'm real to the music like I'm real to my own life. And so whatever comes, comes. And I never write a song and say, oh, this is a hit song. Or they may not like this one. I don't think about that because the music will always go where it should go.
Okay. Now, I want to know more, like you mentioned, about the Strong One Foundation.
Yeah.
What is it all about?
Educating those who can't afford it, like especially single mothers who can't afford to buy the books they need or pay for the tuition. You know, it's more focused on education for the younger ones. And so each year, like my first time launching the charity, we gave away books and certificates to different mothers, different parents. And they would go to the bookstore with the certificate of like maybe $150 US, and they can buy, you know, all the books that the certificate will cover. Or there are a few kids that we would pay for the whole tuition.
Okay, now let's get back into your music a bit. You say you write from different experience, sometimes fun. You worked with Beenie Man, right?
Yeah, Beenie Man.
Yay.
King, yeah.
Yes, King.
King, yeah.
Yes, we'll highlight that in a bit. But let's take a look at your music, and if you could point to us a scenario, apart from what you mentioned, you know, with your husband when he broke your heart and you're like, I wrote this song lying down, you know, and feeling what I'm feeling. What's another scenario, or even a few others that you wrote songs inspired by moments, events that meant so much to you, or different people?
Free. I'm not afraid. No, I am not afraid. You know, that wasn't a time when I couldn't go home. We couldn't go home. Different turf wars around the community were the influence, were the reason for me writing Free. I'm not afraid. I Rise. I was going through my own depression phase, trying to get out of the record label as an artist, and the conflict and the struggle in that moment drove me to write I Rise.
I see.
So in each song there is a story, you know, and it comes from somewhere.
And how do you also, you know, getting out of record labels is big for so many artists, especially when they realize they can do different things or
on
more.
Their own.
Yes, on their own. And sometimes you feel like you're losing an identity, especially when you listen to their interviews. They say, I feel like I was losing part of myself. I didn't know.
Because they want to control you and tell you what to write and what to do.
You know, so how do you collect yourself? You know, what makes you not entirely break? For others, they cannot, you know, they never get back.
So
but for you, you became
when
triumphant.
I started, I never wanted to go with a label. It was the management team that insisted that I go to the label because the company broke,